I imagine that right now you're feeling a bit like Alice. Tumbling down the rabbit hole? Hmm?
You could say that.
Let me tell you why you're here. Do you want to know what it is? Unfortunately, no one can be told. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is James. Sorry for the dramatic intro. If I did leave that in, I may have edited it out. But once again, I want to welcome you all back. Today I wanted to talk to you about something called the flipped classroom. It's something that I think is on the forefront, and some of you guys may have heard of this before. Today I want to give you guys a little bit of an intro, but it was important for me because originally I made a movie and I was going to play it for you today or Tuesday, but I realized that would kind of defeat the point. I wanted you to experience this. This is why I had that Matrix clip in the beginning. So we're going to do a little flipping right now. That's why I had you look at this today. I'm going to show you a little movie that's probably, in my mind, the simplest explanation of what the flipped classroom is. Then I'm going to do a little more talking after that, and then we'll go from there. So without any further ado, here's the movie.
This is a classroom. The teacher stands at the front, and the students watch and listen. You'll recognize this because it's probably how you were taught, and how your parents were taught before you. But there are a lot of problems with this approach to teaching. You see, not all students learn at the same speed, so some get left behind. And while some students learn better by listening, others may learn better by doing. This means that teachers can't always do the best job they can, but there is another way. The flipped classroom addresses these problems and makes learning more personal. First, the teacher makes a video that delivers the content they'd usually teach in class. Then they share it online with students who can watch it before the next lesson. This leaves the teacher free to spend class time leading activities that help students apply the knowledge. Students can rewind and re-watch a video as many times as they like and come back to class with questions for the teacher. So keeping up with the class is no longer an issue. Students can access the video at any time using mobile devices, giving them the ability to learn more independently. Instead of sitting and listening, students can spend class time applying knowledge in more practical ways. And teachers are free to spend their time working with students and giving them individual support and attention. The flipped classroom model is already making a difference to students and teachers worldwide, so get involved. Discover more at flippedinstitute.org and become part of the movement.
How can you let 52% of your students, 1 in every 2 students, failing your English, math, and science class, and even 28% is too high for social studies.
Continue doing the same thing and think you're going to get a different result isn't going to work. So we sat down and we said we got to try something different.
Because we felt like the class time, was probably the most crucial time that we had with students.
We decided to flip it and try spending more time working with the students in class and having them get the lecture and the lessons at home.
By having homework done within class, we quadrupled the time that students and the teachers actually worked together in, going over and learning the information.
My name is Mike Weinreich. I came here when I was in 8th grade, Coming from Detroit Public Schools, it's real different.
Why'd you come from Detroit?
Yeah, last year Mike Kwan was a freshman in the class and he was struggling and he'd have a problem and say problem number 1 was difficult for him. He couldn't do it at home, so he would give up. So all of his homework was empty, was blank. Well, now I'm sitting there, I can see his frustration, I can go help him, I can get him past number 1, now he can do 2, 3, 4, 5, he's got trouble with problem number 6 again, I can help him.
By reversing the instructional model, what we did is we actually seen a dramatic reduction in the percentage of students who are failing. And in ELA, the percentages went from 52% to 19%. In math, we went from 44% to 13%. And in science, we went from 41% to 19%. And in social studies, we went from 28 to actually under 10%. And so, what we've seen is a huge reduction in failure by reversing the instructional model, which doesn't cost any money.
Well, I hope that explained to you guys exactly what the flipped classroom is, or at least gave you a point from which we're going to talk about when I see you next, which is the whole point. Everyone now has a base knowledge of exactly what a flipped classroom is, which is exactly what your students would have if they were to watch this, say, on, I don't know, pick a topic, statistics or trig or cosine curve or whatever it is. They could all have a base knowledge, not a full understanding, but just a little bit of a working knowledge, so when you met them in class, you can now go into detail. Okay, here are my edits. You can just go back, and if you need to insert something, you can. Most of that was just a straight screen capture, but there was a couple of things that I forgot to put in there. Like, for example, in your lesson when you're doing a lecture, you're doing 5 a day, maybe one of them isn't that great. This way you always have your best one. Granted, that's not what's happening now because I'm short on time. It's 5:26. But you can edit things the way you need to edit them. You can put in the pertinent information that you need to put in. You can even share, if 2 or 3 of you are doing this, but someone knows one topic better than the other, hey, could you make a video for me that I can put on my link for the students and you can share the material. So there's a lot of upside. Or what if one of your students missed something in the lecture? In the lecture time, it's kind of there and gone. Or if someone has to raise their hand, it's kind of time taken out of the classroom to re-explain. Here, they can just rewind it on their own time, just like you're watching this on your own time. Okay, now with that, I got to go back and edit this thing. So a couple things. What happens if they don't watch the movie? That's a good point. What happens if they don't do your homework? But you'll see I'm going to respond. Some of you may not have done your homework, naughty, naughty people. And what I'm going to have you guys do is go in the computer lab or look at a computer and check it out. The kid will probably have a phone right there. They can look at it or a headset or whatever. With that said, you can also differentiate with this before they even get to the classroom, because for some this is enough. This is what they're going to get, and that's what they're interested in. You're not going to push them. For others of you, I'm going to show you a couple of links. I'm going to show you some links, and I'm going to have some stuff on the e-board for you to look at. And also, just one thing real quick. I'm not the most tech-savvy human being on the planet, and this was all free. This was all relatively easy to learn. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Like I said, there's 1,001 ways. What I've learned in the last couple of days is the only thing that's going to stop you from doing this is your own creativity and time. I'm doing this at 5:22 before I go to work today because I realized I wanted to switch things up. And there's all, before you go, one other thing. On my e-board, I want you to go to iNotes, and I want you to just put a quick comment in there. That way I kind of know who saw or didn't, so when I go and see you guys again, I can kind of adjust what I'm going to do. If I know all of you didn't see it, I might start with the video. If I know that everyone saw it, well, I'll be a little bit different. But once again, I'd arrivederci to those who are kind of done, don't want to know anymore, who kind of get it. For the rest, I'm going to show you a couple of things real quick. Well, first of all, I want you guys to know that the way I'm doing this right now is a free thing called Screenomatic. Here's the website right here. It's nothing crazy. All I did was hit start and record. That's simple. Awesomeness. Another really cool website is, you saw all my favorites. Another cool website is SchoolTube. There's stuff, you don't have to make stuff on your own. You can get stuff off of YouTube, off of SchoolTube, off of Vimeo. There's a lot of different ways to do it. And if your kids don't have access to things like YouTube and whatnot, let me know if this is something you want to do, because I will absolutely help it. I'll show you how you can make this into a Windows media file if you needed to, or any other format. Oops. Here's my here's where you need to go. Flipping the classroom. This is my e-board. Here's just a video on YouTube here. Flipped Institute, they have a lot of interesting things. This is Educreation. I just want you to show you what this can do. Let's say I'm on here and I can create a video. I want to create a lesson. I can add pictures if I wanted to on this, but if I wanted to say 6, and I don't know where I should write this, you guys are way better. You have Smartboard experience plus 3. You get it, and I could talk over it. I could edit this and make record it and do whatever I wanted to. Use different colors, turn the page. I mean, you guys could start thinking about plenty of things. Make it scroll. There is a way of making it scroll up and down. I think it's this thing. There we go. But you could do whatever you want with this. This is something that I'm going to put on my e-board, and I'll have this ongoing. As I see things, I hear about things, I'm going to put things up. There's also some people in the building who are doing it. I know there's a couple people in our science department who are doing it, science in the junior high. There's also a math teacher, a lady who you met before, Sue Shepard for the middle school, is going to be doing it. I'm actually talking with her about possibly coming in once I see this has a little life and people are doing it. Because I really think this is the direction that education is going to go. And if you're still watching it, you probably think that too. Like I said, I'm not going to take any more of your time. The whole point of the video is to be a bit succinct, so you can get some understanding. And then you're going to play around on your own. And we'll go from there, and I'll see you when I see you, and we'll talk later. Bye-bye.